Komodo Dragon, an absolutely undisputed prehistoric survivor. Now imagine yourself standing right there in the dense, dry vegetation of their island kingdom. What would you say is the Komodo Dragon's absolute greatest weapon? You might immediately think of their sheer size, right? Or maybe those razor-sharp claws or their terrifying bursts of speed. But the true secret to their dominance as an apex predator, it actually isn't something you can easily see. In fact, it's completely invisible to the naked eye, yet it dictates every single movement they make through that tall grass. It's their sense of smell. This is the absolute foundation of the dragon's hunting prowess. You'll notice the dragon is constantly flicking its yellow, forked tongue into the air. And with every single flick, it's gathering these tiny, invisible chemical particles from the environment around it. The tongue then pulls back, and it transfers those particles to a highly specialized sensory organ located right up in the roof of its mouth. This organ instantly analyzes the chemical information, essentially painting a vivid, detailed picture of an entirely unseen world. It's literally a natural GPS designed by evolution. Because of that forked tongue, the dragon doesn't just know, say, a scent is out there somewhere. No, it gets incredibly precise directional information. If the left fork of the tongue picks up a slightly stronger scent signal than the right fork, well, the dragon knows exactly which way to turn. It's basically a biological tracking system. It allows them to detect a carcass from several kilometers away, pinpoint wounded animals, and track prey perfectly through the absolute densest vegetation. Just imagine being able to smell a dead animal from miles away. For a dragon, that's just an ordinary Tuesday. And when they finally locate that prey, their hunting method is chillingly methodical. Step 1, wait. Then launch, bite, and track. You see, unlike wolves that exhaust their prey through a really long chase, or lions that rely on cooperative pack tactics, the Komodo dragon is a master of the ambush. They'll position themselves perfectly along animal trails, completely hidden in the grass or maybe beside a watering hole, and then they just wait. Minutes become hours. Hours can even become days. A deer approaches, completely unaware. The distance closes. 10 meters, 5 meters, 3. And then, suddenly, this giant reptile explodes into action. Powerful legs launch it forward, total chaos erupts. The attack itself lasts mere seconds, but the consequences? They are fatal.
Now, for decades, there was this famous myth that the dragon's mouth was simply filled with dangerous, toxic bacteria that slowly killed prey after a bite. You've probably heard that one, right? But modern research has revealed a much more sinister story. Komodo dragons actually possess real venom glands. When they bite, they're injecting venom that contains specific compounds designed to rapidly lower blood pressure, promote massive bleeding, and induce severe physiological shock.
And to deliver that venom, they use teeth that are fundamentally different from, say, a crocodile's. We're talking knives, not crushers. Every single tooth resembles a finely serrated knife. So instead of crushing bone, they're designed to slice cleanly through flesh. When the dragon attacks, deep wounds open instantly. Severe blood loss begins immediately, and it's quickly followed by blind panic. As weakness inevitably sets into the prey, the dragon simply exercises its greatest strength again: patience. Sometimes the victim collapses right on the spot. Other times, the dragon just fires up that incredible natural GPS and tracks the dying animal for hours.
When a meal is finally secured, the consumption is just staggering. 80%. An adult Komodo dragon can consume up to 80% of its own body weight in a single feeding session. Just pause and think about that. Imagine a human being eating more than half of their entire body weight in one sitting. It's almost incomprehensible, right? But for the dragon, this extreme gorging is an absolute necessity. Because their meals are highly unpredictable. Days or even weeks might pass before they get another opportunity like that.
And because of that unpredictability, food is consumed incredibly rapidly and absolutely nothing is wasted. The dragon uses those sharp teeth and extremely powerful neck muscles to violently tear away flesh. Massive chunks just disappear quickly. We're talking skin, muscle, internal organs, heavy bones, and yeah, even the hooves of their prey. Almost the whole shebang goes down. This brutal efficiency guarantees that when food finally does arrive, the dragon extracts every possible calorie to sustain itself. They take full, absolute advantage of the kill.
But, the life of a dragon isn't just about dominating prey. At the very beginning of their lives, the rules are violently reversed. So what do you think is a baby dragon's greatest threat? A female dragon can lay a clutch of 20 or more eggs. After months of being completely vulnerable to heat, flooding, and predators, a tiny hatchling finally emerges. It's only about 40 centimeters long. It has no parents to guide it, zero family to protect it. It's fully equipped with these tiny claws and teeth, sure, but its journey into this harsh world begins immediately. And it's facing a terrifying primary threat right out of the gate.
That threat? Cannibalism. The really shocking reality on these islands is that life is dangerous, even for dragons. Adult Komodo dragons frequently eat the juveniles. Yep, the very species a hatchling belongs to becomes its most immediate and deadly predator. A newly hatched dragon just stepping out into the open is pretty much seen as nothing more than a quick snack by the hungry giants patrolling the ground.
So how on earth do they survive? Well, it's all about the tree escape. This is their remarkable evolutionary workaround. Unlike the massive, heavy adults that are basically confined to the forest floor, juvenile dragons are extremely lightweight and agile. So upon hatching, they immediately take to the trees. Up there in the branches, they find safety, food, shelter, and most importantly, crucial distance from those cannibalistic adults down below. They'll actually remain living up in the canopy for years, only descending permanently once they've reached a much larger, much safer size.
Now, perhaps the dragon's most astonishing survival tool requires no male at all. It's a process called Parthenogenesis. Basically, this is reproduction from a female's genetic material alone, completely without fertilization by a male. In rare situations, a female Komodo dragon can literally lay viable eggs all by herself. Imagine a lone female arriving on some isolated island. Even without a male, she could potentially give birth to an entirely new population. Very, very few large vertebrates possess this remarkable capability, and honestly, it completely stunned scientists when they figured it out. As the undisputed king of these islands, the dragon dominates the food chain and shapes the entire ecological balance. In a lot of ecosystems, you see large predators competing, right? Lions battle hyenas, wolves clash with bears. But on the Komodo Islands, the dragon occupies a really special position. It stands completely alone near the top of the food chain, hunting deer, wild pigs, monkeys, and even massive water buffalo. Very few animals would ever dare challenge a healthy adult, and this absolute dominance shapes everything. The predator influences prey behavior, which in turn influences the vegetation, which then impacts countless other species. The dragon literally maintains the delicate ecological balance of the entire island ecosystem. But of course, even an apex predator is vulnerable to a changing world. We have to acknowledge the mounting threats facing these magnificent creatures: habitat loss, accelerated climate change, rising sea levels that are encroaching on their coastal habitats, declining prey populations, and, you guessed it, increasing human activity. These island ecosystems are incredibly fragile, and even small environmental changes can produce devastating consequences. While local communities have shared these islands for centuries, often actually revering dragons as powerful guardians of the land, the future of these animals now depends heavily on strict conservation programs, careful monitoring, and our continued respect. Which leaves us with one really critical question: can this prehistoric survivor endure the modern world? When we observe a dragon stalking through the dry grass, we are witnessing a direct, living connection to Earth's ancient past. It's a lineage that has survived massive geological shifts and countless ecological challenges. Protecting them preserves a living piece of our planet's story. But as those shadows stretch across the savanna once again, we really have to wonder: will this real-life dragon continue to surprise us, or will the modern world prove to be the one threat it just cannot outlast? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I truly hope it leaves you marveling at one of nature's most extraordinary predators.